Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is coming out this September, and they've already been releasing a ton of footage, gameplay, announcements, updates, everything that we could possibly imagine as fans. This includes the DLC and third-party DLC characters that will be entering the roster for this upcoming Sonic Racing game. And today, instead of doing a speculation video like I've done previously on third-party DLC characters, I have decided to take the recommendation of some of you in the comments on doing some of the DLC Sonic Universe characters, additional Sonic characters from the roster that we could potentially see in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. So with that being said, my name is OCDsaster, this channel is OCDsaster Blue, where all we do is go over Sonic content. So if that sounds like something your speed, consider checking out some other videos after this one and subscribing. First, let's go over the characters that we know for a fact are going to be in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. Now, I'm saying characters as in the Sonic-only Sonic Universe characters. We're not including like Joker or Hatsune Miku or any of the additional third-party characters or DLC that are going to be added. So we have Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Shadow, Eggman, Metal Sonic, Cream, Big the Cat, Silver, Rouge, Omega, Vector, Espio, Charmy, Jet, Wave, Storm, Blaze, Zavik, Zaz, Sage, Supersonic, and the Egg Pawn, which is like the enemy variant of Eggman's forces. So this is what we know is going to be in Sonic Universe. Sonic has a lot, I mean a huge catalog of characters from both the video games, TV shows, movies, cartoons, and comics. So we're going to kind of exclude a few of these categories off the bat because some of the licensing has gotten a bit sketchy when it comes to Sega, the Sonic the Hedgehog team, and like Archie, let's say. So like a Sally Acorn or some of the Echidna designs, they're not going to be in this game probably. Now, like many of my speculation videos, I always like to let the audience know that this is not my top picks. This is not the characters that me, OCDsaster, want in the game. This is what I'm using as a metric of what I think is possibly going to be in the game, the most realistic outcomes that I see. There's a difference. A lot of people think that when someone says, oh, I think this character is going to be in the game, it's really them just saying they want the character in the game. And although some of the characters on this list I do want to see in here, not all of them are characters I'm necessarily excited about. I can just see it as logically making sense to be added into Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. To make this video fun, I'm not going to go into any particular order. I'm just going to list off characters at random and then later tell you which ones that I think would actually get into the game. I have a handful here that spread across multiple Sonic game franchises, so I think it's a really good mix. So the first character that I have is Classic Sonic. I think this is a no-brainer. I know we're going to be doing different costumes and variants of characters, but Classic Sonic has been proven to be a separate character from Sonic in, you know, Sonic Forces, Sonic Generations, so be it. And it just makes perfect sense to have that cute little guy also in this game. Next, I have Trip from Sonic Superstars, a game that not many people talk about because I don't really think it's that good personally. If you like that game, that's absolutely fine. I'm happy for you, but myself and a few others were not a huge fan of this release. But Trip was a new addition, and she is adorable, looks great from a design standpoint, and since she's newer, it would make sense to have her in the game. Going back to Sonic Adventure 1, Chaos would be a very cool character to see in Sonic Racing. However, I do think it would also be equally as cool to have him pop up at a Station Square track, whereas you're driving around and he bursts through a building as Perfect Chaos. So either or would be great for me. I'm actually leaning more towards the track idea where he's a track hazard, but him as a racer would be pretty cool as well. This next character was lost to the past, but then recently brought back for, once again, the game Sonic Superstars, and that is Fang the Snipe. I think he would be a nice little addition to this game. We know we're getting Sonic as a werehog, and I think I said earlier we were getting costumes, and I'm not actually quite sure about that now that I think about it. I think we're getting like characters have costumes, but it's like a separate whole roster of a character, similar to that of Mario Kart World. So we'll have to see, and anyone in the comments can correct me on that. As long as you're nice, please be nice. I can't know everything all the time. Anyway, I do think from Sonic Unleashed, aside from the Werehog, it would be great to have Chip return as a racer. This is a very controversial take, but with Sonic 06 finally getting some appreciation after the time it needed to heal, Sega's even been aware of the game and referencing it more, I think having Elise show up would be a very cool and unique throwback. It's crazy to think that 2006 is a throwback now. Man, I'm old. But yeah, having Elise in here would be absolutely amazing. Going further back into the classics, Ray and Mighty would also be a good pick for this game, along with Bean the Dynamite, who's shown up from time to time in other Sonic properties past his debut in Sonic Fighters. He's been in a few Archie comics as well, which kind of makes the rights a little bit weird, but I can see him coming back as well. From Sonic Battle, I have two characters. Gamma returning. I know technically if you follow it from a lore perspective that's impossible based off the ending of his story in Sonic Adventure, but it would still be cool to have another like Omega variant in this type of racing game. I don't think they really care too much about lore, so it would be great to have him in there. The same with Chip. Chip technically couldn't be in if you're based off of a lore standpoint, but I kind of just glazed over that. And then also from Sonic Battle, we have Emerald, who's actually showed up in the animated debut for Shadow Generations, Shadow Dark Beginnings, so he's definitely more relevant than we think. Next I have Sharara. Is that her name? The little genie girl from Sonic and the Secret Rings. I think it would be cool to have her in there. I don't know much about her. I can't remember much from that game. I didn't beat it, but it'd be cool to see her in there representing some Sonic and the Secret Rings. Because this is a racing game, I think it makes sense to have some iconic Sonic R unlockable characters in here, such as Tails Doll and Metal Knuckles. I can actually definitely see that happening. This next Sonic character has been gone for a while, but as recent games, movies, and stuff have come out, they've been brought back to the surface and even redesigned a little bit, and that would be Dr. Gerald. I could easily see him being a racer in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. And like I said before, I think we need more villains in this. Dr. Gerald definitely fits that, but we can also add another two villains in there. Let's do Black Doom and also the Black Knight from Sonic and the Black Knight. Now, there's so many Sonic characters that I could be listing, and I have narrowed this down already by a lot. So here are the last two that I think would be great for Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, and then I will go into the ones that I actually think are going to be in this. So yes, I know there's a lot more, and you might not hear the one that you like or you think is going to be in, but you can let me know down in the comments after we go through all this. And that is Q-Bot and the other one, the two annoying robots that Eggman has. I can definitely see them being a character slot. I know a lot of people might not like it, but it just makes sense. They've been in a lot of Sonic media and Sonic content. And then Styx from Sonic Boom, some Sonic Boom representation. So yeah, now that I've listed off all these likely racers for Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, and once again, there could definitely be more out there that I'm not thinking of right now and might be in the game, but out of the ones that I've picked, I've narrowed it down to only a few, because we're not just going to constantly be getting DLC characters. That would be great, but I just don't think they have enough development time to do that, and we're going to want them to focus on some third-party characters as well. So, with that being said, here are the characters that I think we might be getting as DLC Sonic Universe characters for Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. Q-Bot and the other one. I can see them definitely being an easy pick, and probably my least favorite of these options, but it's very, very likely. Styx from Sonic Boom got a lot of popularity from the TV show. I believe the Sonic Boom DS game also had her in it, so it makes sense. I can see her in it as well, along with Emerald. Like I said, he's making more of an appearance again. I know he kind of went dormant after Sonic Battle, but we've seen him in a lot of media and Sonic content lately, and they made him very cool. So Emerald, and then Trip from Sonic Superstars. The look is just iconic. She's not that popular, but with the unique look and with Sonic Superstars being a more recent Sonic title, I just think it makes sense having her in the game. Along with, since I'm saying that Trip and Sonic Superstars, I'm also saying Fang He is a classic Sonic character that got brought back recently. I can see him easily being put in here. And let's just knock out the classic trio right now, because I think Fang, Classic Sonic, Ray, Mighty, and Being the Dynamite could all be possible contenders as DLC characters for Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. They are iconic in their style, and they've also been around for so long, and it's a great way to celebrate these characters. The next two, I think, are very, very, very likely to be in, and that is Tails Doll and Metal Knuckles, because they are iconic when it comes to Sonic R, and Sonic Racing seems to be a celebration of all the Sonic racing games and Sega racing games put together, so I can 100% see them being in this game. And last but not least, I have Black Doom. As I said before, I think we need more villains in this roster, and Black Doom has made his appearance yet again in Shadow Generations, and he's just a very cool design. He could be driving in a Black Doom sort of cart or spaceship. It works very nicely. These are the characters that I think have the highest likelihood of being in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. Now, I know I'm going to be wrong on some of these, if not the majority of these, but it would be cool to see them in the game. I definitely don't love who I think are definitely going to be in pick. I think a lot of it does go to the retro characters, but that's just how I think this is going to shake out. What do you guys think of my list? Let me know down in the comments. Who do you think that I missed? Do you think I'm right out of my list that these would be the ones that Sega would pick? While I'm saying this, I'm thinking of very cool and creative ideas for some characters, such as if the Black Knight was in it, he could be riding a horse instead of a cart, but I don't know how much that would make things look different, how designing and developing it would be. He wouldn't be able to customize carts. He could just drive in a cart as well, but the horse could be one. But that would be a very cool thing to see, but that's just me thinking on the top of my head, because that boss fight is pretty iconic when it comes to Sonic and the Black Knight. Some other things to think about. The Titans would be really cool to see as racers. Obviously, they're ginormous, so they would have to scale them down. Maybe you could have an ancient one being the driver, and the different carts would be designed similar to the Titans from Sonic Frontiers. They don't actually, they're not as big as them, but that would be cool to see as well. You could get really creative with it, and your mind could wander for a while. So I also want to know your guys' creative ideas down below as well. With that being said, this is my list of Sonic Universe characters that I can see being in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. Get typing down in the comments below. Be sure to check out some of my other Sonic videos here on the channel. It really helps me out. And I hope you have a super Sonic rest of your day. See ya!